He seemed to think there was a bit of a communication problem with selling to the public the value of these technologies. Do you agree with that? And what do you think is going on here in terms of the cross conversations? One group wants to desell, has some concerns, environmental, job displacement, et cetera. And then is there an issue where beating China doesn't resonate with the American populace? You've been harping on about the rise of socialism for 4+ years on this very podcast. So from where you sit, what's the actual disconnect in these multiple conversations that are going on concurrently and seemingly coming to a head here at the end of 2025?
Well, if you ask any of the politicians that are making these proclamations about the, quote, tech barons and trying to actually talk to them about what is the AI technology delivering, what is it not delivering, you kind of typically hit a wall pretty quickly. It's very hard for folks to articulate what is actually happening. There's a tremendous amount of capital being put at risk against infrastructure to build out the capacity for many companies, the entire economy, the entire industry to deliver AI tools. There isn't an aggregation at this stage of value creation, with the exception of NVIDIA, which has really got this $3 trillion market cap creation that's happened in the last couple of years. Peter Thiel said this best. He's like, look at all the money that's going into AI. There's really only one company that's making any money, and that's NVIDIA. Like at this point, the jury's still out. We don't even know what AI is. It's sort of like when the internet was happening. Everyone thought these fiber optic switch companies were going to make all the money. Turns out that was wrong. It was the end applications that made all the money. And they competed in many different markets, from Google to Amazon to Uber. You can go down the list of all the beneficiaries of the core infrastructure technology of the internet that was built out. So what is really going on? Well, AI is the new lightning rod for fear and for divisiveness that ultimately breeds compliance and control, which is where these politicians are trying to drive the populace and the voting conditions in the United States. And that's what's going on right now. There's a lot of fear about, putting this data center in my town is going to do X or Y or Z, with no real conversation about the truth of that matter. There's a lot of fear about wealth creation being aggregated in the hand of a few, when, as we saw with the internet, it benefited the many. And that fear mongering is a very similar tactic that we've seen in the prior generations, where policies were misstated, fear was used, and then voting control allowed folks to come to power that were looking for power. So I think it's just the lightning rod at the moment.